great reviews for Rocketman. I'm excited. Let's go.
Yesterday is one of the greatest songs ever written.
It's not cold blooded.
Sorry, I'm just listening to Jack's new song.
The feature is on the big screen, so please remember, don't tell.
Alright guys, so I did see Rocketman, and let me tell you guys, I was pleasantly surprised with this movie because that first teaser trailer of this movie was really weird, and the whole musical fantasy element really wasn't working for me in that teaser trailer. But then the other trailers were actually kind of good, and then the buzz came out that the movie's really good. And of course, a lot of people are comparing this movie to Bohemian Rhapsody, which I don't think it's a fair comparison, because simply because they're both different movies. Even though, yeah, they kind of explored the same the same idea of two famous icons to the music industry, and basically how they kind of came out as being gay, and how they kind of had their own problems, whether it was with alcohol or drugs, or maybe even problems with their family or friends. And they're both movies are similar with that, but technically speaking, they're both very different movies. Whereas Bohemian Rhapsody is more of a just a straight up biopic of Queen, and this one is a biopic of Elton John, but it has a unique touch to it with the music fantasy element of this movie, which again I thought was kind of weird at first, but then you get used to it and you really start to enjoy it, and it makes this movie just so much fun to watch. And it really picks up some pace that some of the movie has problems with, which I'll talk about in a second. But Taron Egerton, he did a really great job as Elton John, and it's funny because he got casted as Elton John for this movie. I believe it was a few days after Kingsman: The Golden Circle came out, and of course he's the main lead in that movie, and Elton John was in that movie. So I just kind of found it kind of funny, and not just that, but they have the same producers behind some of the same producers from the Kingsman movies produced this movie. So I thought that was kind of funny and that was unique. And let me tell you, Taron Egerton just completely nails it. I loved him as Elton John in this movie. His acting bits in this movie aren't just the highlight of the movie, but he actually the songs that are sang in this movie are actually sang by Taron Egerton. Like in Bohemian Rhapsody, Rami Malek wasn't his voice singing the Queen songs. Of course, it was still Freddie Mercury, but here Taron Egerton actually sings his songs, and it really works, and it really makes the movie feel a lot more authentic, I guess you could say. And it just made the movie a little bit more special. And every other performance in this movie I thought was really good. I did not know until I saw the movie. Bryce Dallas Howard's in this movie. I thought she was pretty good in this movie. Jamie Bell from that Fantastic Four movie was really great in this movie, redeeming himself from that movie. And the director, Dexter Fletcher, actually is the same guy who actually picked up the director's chair for Bohemian Rhapsody after Bryan Singer left. Even though Bryan Singer still got director's credit, Dexter Fletcher, of course, was the one who kind of finished the movie off. And it's really interesting to see him direct, or at least semi-direct, Bohemian Rhapsody and direct Rocketman, and see what he could do with both movies. Again, even though they're similar, they're both very different concepts. And basically the main problem that I had with this movie, which really kind of killed it a little bit for me, was that the movie actually had some pacing issues. Like, there's actually bits with the musical numbers that really go by fast and you don't want them to end. But there's other bits, especially in the second act of the movie, in the middle of the movie, where the movie really slows down. And it never really gets boring. I'll tell you that. It never gets boring, but it just slows down. It kind of starts to drag. And it just feels a little... It's slow. It's a slow movie. Except for the musical numbers, which are pretty fast, but the pacing is a little off. And then the movie sometimes kind of, I wouldn't say feels dry, but sometimes it feels like the movie is dealing with the same generic stuff that we're going to get in our typical biopic, or the same predictable stuff that we're going to see in a biopic. So of course it kind of has that going for it too. But other than that, I cannot be picky with this movie, because I still really think it's a very well made movie, a very entertaining movie, very well acted, very well directed. The visuals are just spectacular here. If Taron Egerton doesn't get a Best Actor nominee for next year, I don't know. I'm gonna be really mad because I really think that he really deserves it for his depiction of Elton John in this movie. And yeah, this movie it really hit it for me. I enjoyed this movie more than more than I ever thought I would. And that's coming from a guy who's not really a huge fan of Elton John. Like, his music is pretty good, but I was never crazy about Elton John. Of course, I do appreciate him, though, for making the soundtrack for The Lion King, which is my favorite animated movie of all time. But other than that, yeah, he has good music. But again, I was never crazy over Elton John. And it's it's nice that this movie really made me care more for him. So it's a very well-made movie. With that being said, I definitely think that this is a movie you guys should definitely pay full price for. And I'm going to give Rocketman a B+. I know a lot of you guys really want to see Godzilla because, well, why not? It's Godzilla kicking other kaiju monsters' asses. But if you want an actual movie with an actual story and actual characters that do not feel dull at all, Rocketman is definitely the movie that I think you guys should definitely check out. In fact, let's just forget that Godzilla was a disappointment, and let's just forget that movie came out just because it was a huge disappointment. And let's put all of our attention towards Rocketman because it's definitely the movie this week that I think deserves all your money. But yeah, have you guys seen Rocketman? If you guys seen it, what did you guys think about it? Tell me in the comment section below. And also for my next few movie days, I don't know. My schedule is really busy, so I might see Ma. I'm not sure about that. I'm definitely going to see Dark Phoenix in 4DX, hopefully. And I should also, what's the next new reel? Okay, Zero Life of Pets, but I'm not going to see that till Monday or Tuesday, so it's going to be a while for that review to be up. But yeah, so basically that's the schedule for the next week. But if you guys seen this movie, let me know what you guys thought about it. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.